Good evening and welcome to tonight's broadcast of the Total Nonstop Racing League live from Texas Motor Speedway, the 2008 edition of Texas Motor Speedway. Joining me in the booth, as always, is Joe. I'm Bob, and well, Joe, tonight this is going to be a very interesting race here. 150 miles here at Texas. Should be some fun.
Absolutely. We got a pretty big field out here. Weather's nice for the people in the stands. Tracks are probably going to be not as nice, but it should make for a very fun race.
That is for sure. Everyone getting out onto the racetrack now for qualifying, as we are going to see some names start popping up there on the left-hand side of your screen. And a few drivers to watch here tonight. One of those drivers being the number 28 here of Jamar Dumas. Jamar, fastest in practice. Let's see if he's going to be able to hold that speed here in qualifying as we get ourselves ready to race here. And we'll jump on board here with Jamar just to get a good idea of the layout of this track. It's an older track, so there's plenty of bumps. So you're going to have to manage the bumps, manage the tires, try not to lose any grip, especially up at the top of the track there. But here comes Jamar driving down the corner, getting a great drive out of four. Across the start-finish line, Philip Scott goes fastest. Jamar 30.9 with Philip Scott as a 30.1. So we'll see Jamar here. Another good drive off the corner. Very easy to snap. You're coming basically up out of a dip in the track on the backstretch, so the load on the tires lets off. The car kind of gets a little bit squirrely and a little bit sideways. Philip Scott goes fastest yet again with a 30.0. Jamar Dumas picks up a lot. He's now in fifth. And so here's John Cannizzaro Jr., the number 77 machine out there. He finishes his lap. And Anthony DeBarro in a rare unsponsored number 27.
Interesting.
Great looking race car, but very interesting that there's no sponsor on that number 27 car. I guess a little less wind resistance with less stickers on the racetrack. As, whoa, the 11 and Nick Simpson got real squirrely there out of four.
It saves, 11 pounds in vinyl?
Yeah, something along those lines, right? Especially nowadays that it's not painted. It's all vinyl, usually one or two layers worth of vinyl. It's all printed onto the vinyl and then applied onto the race car, so... Now here's Philip Scott. Great looking number 4 car there for Adam Stewart.
I saw that earlier.
Driving the old, what is that, Casey Kane Dodge Ford?
Did you just say a Dodge Ford?
Yeah. Dodge on the door, Ford on the hood.
No.
And whoa, Jamar Dumas goes around.
Yeah, the hood of that car kinda looks like a Juggalo. I'm just gonna say it.
Yeah, I could see that. Unfortunately, but I can see it. Trevor's getting ready to finish up qualifying here. Anthony DeBarro fastest with a 29.8. There's Ace House in the 47. Decent qualifying run for him so far. Currently P5 on the board with a 30.14. Philip Scott picking up some time through Sector 1. Coming across the line. Doesn't pick up much more. He'll do a 31. So top four, or second, third, and fourth all did a 30 flat. Separated by only a couple hundredths of a second.
Yeah.
Scott 015, Cannizzaro 038, Ewing 045. So some very impressive time there. As everyone pulling themselves off the track. As here comes Adden, head down pit lane. Getting ready to finish up this qualifying session. As everyone has parked. And we are going to switch over into race mode. 100 laps here tonight. So it should be a pretty decent time.
Definitely.
So we'll take a look here at the starting lineup for tonight's race. It's the Lone Star 150 presented by Jake Bustos. Anthony DeBarro on the pole with Philip Scott in row number 2, or in second place. In row number 2, John Cannizzaro Jr. on the inside, Shane Ewing on the outside, Ace House Jamar Dumas in row number 3. Row number 4, we have Jason Schue and Adam Stewart, Jeremy Canute and Nick Simpson, row number 5. Row number 6, John Cannizzaro Sr. and Tim Branson will set our 12-car field for this evening. As the field will begin to pull away behind that pace car. And a very interesting non-sponsored number 27 machine. So DeBarro Sliders is out as the primary sponsor for Anthony DeBarro.
That might just be you, because I think on my end, I think he's set up properly. Now that I'm looking at him.
Well, let's take a look here to see what all is happening, which that very well be a me problem.
Stevie pops up.
Seeing if some of these paints will update. They unfortunately will not. So if someone's paint is incorrect, my apologies. So pace car makes the hard left turn down onto pit road. The field in the command of the number 27 of Anthony DeBarro. Green flag is in the air, and we are racing here at Texas. DeBarro gets a good jump. He's down on the bottom. He's got Cannizzaro Jr. just behind him. Philip Scott towards the top side. And a little bit further back, here comes Ace House trying to take a peek to the inside of Jamar Dumas. Dumas snags the wall. And now House to the inside of Shane Ewing. Side by side in 3 and 4 give the position and the advantage to the 47 of Ace House. So he'll move up a spot. Meanwhile, out front, Anthony DeBarro already opening up a pretty big gap to John Cannizzaro Jr. On board here with the number 77 machine. Now with Philip Scott on the roof.
I hope he's not on the roof. He should be driving.
He should be driving.
Sorry, I had to.
You know, it's understandable. Anthony DeBarro leads lap number 3. Everyone else just kind of minding their own business, minding their P's and Q's. A little bit further back, Tim Branson is putting the pressure on the 11 and Nick Simpson, who Xander Halgren in the chat is cheering on. Here comes Branson trying to take a peek to the inside. Can't quite get his nose in there quite yet. Simpson riding the top, drops down in front of the 92.
I've noticed Branson's a very mid-race kind of is when he shows up. So he'll stick in the back, and then all of a sudden mid-race he's working his way towards the front.
Yeah, and as we're taking a look at that, John Cannizzaro Jr. takes the lead over Anthony DeBarro. Let's take a look at that one on the instant replay here as Cannizzaro drives it into the corner, takes the high side through 1 and 2. And he just says to Anthony, all right, bud, I'll go for it. So we'll move the wild child up to P1. Scott Stewart in the chat cheering on Adam.
I wonder if Cannizzaro is going to just try to drive away with it, or if he's going to try to just slow down DeBarro.
Yeah, you know, I think a lot of this might just be one of those, you know, all right, I saw how DeBarro was able to do this, you know, all season long. Why not take a page out of his book and just try to push as hard as we can and see what happens?
Yeah. And I have no idea what pit strategies are looking like today, but
yeah, I'm not entirely sure. Typically, we know how many sets of tires are in the pits, as well as the fuel load. It's typically around 50 to 60% fuel for these cars, and with 100 laps, maybe we'll see 30, 60 till the end. Or potentially pit at 50 and just do one stop.
Gotcha. Yeah, I did see they got 4 sets of tires out there today.
Yeah, this track is definitely notorious for eating the right front tire. So it's going to be intriguing to see how all that is going to play out here tonight.
Yeah.
Here comes Philip Scott to challenge, as well as Ace House catching up. And there's starting to be a little bit of a train behind DeBarro.
I was going to say that all season long, I think House has been improving significantly here. Granted, last season he was just wrong place, wrong time almost every time we put a camera on him. But this season, he's been near the front almost consistently when the races finish.
Yeah, I think that's also a good kind of sign of how this car is and how this car has changed from the, air quote, older version of the car to this current car. There are two very different driving vehicles. And sometimes it really works in driver's favor. Other times, maybe it doesn't.
It's interesting to see as now DeBarro's back to 3rd.
Yeah, DeBarro's starting to fall back. That might just be all right, well, maybe I did cook my tires a tiny bit too much.
Yeah.
Side by side now for 5th between Ace House and Shane Ewing. Ewing there on the inside, House on the outside. Jason Schue back there. Oh, a little bit of contact between Schue, the wall, and Adam Stewart. But Schue in a very different looking car. Used to seeing him in Dale Earnhardt paints. Now he's driving the Jimmy Johnson number 3. Either that or my trading paints is acting up. Who's to say, really?
Double check. No, you are correct.
Well, a broken clock is right twice a day, too.
Maybe he was shopping over the weekend and was like, you know, they gave me $3 off the paint.
I might as well support old Jimmy Jam.
I think we were talking about him last week. Maybe that bothered me.
Yeah, that could have been too.
Yeah. When I confused him for the guys who make sausage. Listen, it's an easy mistake to make.
You know what? Sausage and race cars are very similar. I can see the difference.
It's the same name. Also, when they're all in a line, it looks like Lynx's sausages. It's very easy.
You know what? Understandable.
You're hungry, you're looking at the TV.
Yeah,
all the cars are saying all the time.
Well, this is a good little battle brewing here between the 32 and the 47. Both of them putting the effort in. Side by side, they are. Ewing down low in the blue 32. Ace House up top. Jamar Dumas looking on and saying, I mean, if you guys want to take each other out, that'd be nice. Bob Hellis in chat says, let's go 87. That 87 being Jeremy Canute, currently running in P11. But as we're talking here, John Cannizzaro Jr. opening up a 3-second gap over Anthony DeBarro and company.
Yeah, here is the problem. That was like 3.5 seconds a few laps ago.
Yes, time is certainly starting to shrink a little bit for the 77.
I wonder if it's one of those things where he knows he can get a runoff, try to make it to lap 30, do it again.
Right.
Or I guess maybe 35. You want 35, 35, and then 30, because it looks like at this pace, I don't think he's going to want to be trying to finish the race with an extra 5 laps.
Yeah, probably not. This battle has cooled off ever so slightly. Another battle here. This is between the 11 and Nick Simpson and Tim Branson. Simpson trying to make a move. He's going to drive in underneath the 92. And he'll drive away, or at least try to. Simpson going through the grass. Oh, that got tight. Oh, the 92 catches the wall. 92 had
Understandably.
92 had to try to take some evasive maneuvers around the 11, wound up catching the wall. But here comes Simpson once again. Simpson drives down to the inside. Branson running the extreme high line there.
Whoa.
Oh, Simpson. Big loose moment there. Let's take a look at what happened there, because that was certainly interesting. As whoa, just got real loose. How he saved that, I have no idea.
Yeah. Impressive that it snapped back in the other direction.
Now we've got ourselves a battle. This is for 7th between Jason Schue and Adam Stewart. Schue takes the high side, goes up the track, drives back down, trying to get a good drive off the corner. As Nick Simpson takes his number 11 on the pit road.
Interesting.
But a great battle here. All catching the 28 of Jamar Davis.
Yeah, I always wonder with the, what are the strategies? Are people trying to like, I can get away with 40 or 45 laps if I could baby the tires, and then that'll save me 40 seconds overall. There's a lot of strategies that could be in play here that we just never know who's thinking what.
Yeah, and that's one of those things, we're watching this, we could say, oh, these guys are totally fine. But in reality, they're probably all sitting there like, oh my God, I could use a yellow. My tires are dead. But meanwhile, you and I are just sitting here saying, oh man, these guys are driving great.
Yeah, speaking of, I could use a yellow, my tires are dead. DeBarro has caught Cannizzaro.
That he has. That went from a 3-second lead to a 3/10 of a second lead.
Yep.
Absolutely wild as Cannizzaro now takes the top side. And looking at that gap right there, that just shows the speed difference. A tenth of a second, a tenth of a second, 3/10 of a second, half a second on lap 27, and then 3/10 of a second last lap.
Really shows the fall off of those tires. Now he's taking the high side.
And whoa, they got close to the wall there.
Yeah. It was like Cannizzaro does not want to go low.
Both
or
times
cannot go low.
DeBarro just about even on lap times. So we've hit lap 30. We'll see if these drivers decide lap 35 or later, or what their plan is. Maybe a 40-30-30.
Yeah, also like I said, I would, if I'm Cannizzaro, I know I can get hot, but around lap 24, 25, my tires fall out. So how do I finish this race where I can finish fast and hot and That's without giving yourself 25 laps.
And as we're saying this, Jamar Dumas makes his way down onto pit road as well. So Anthony DeBarro, our leader, already driving up to about a 9/10 of a second, almost 1 second lead now over the 77. Philip Scott in third. Then we're gonna have to go about 3.5 seconds back to Shane Ewing, who's in fourth. One of the closer battles on the racetrack right now is Philip Scott and John Cannizzaro Jr. as Cannizzaro taps the grass ever so slightly. So it looks like the 28 of Dumas as well as Nick Simpson are looking in the 30, 40 range. I'm interested to see what the leaders decide to do. Because Joe, I think you might be right. Maybe doing a 40, 30, 30 or, 45, 25. Something along those lines, potentially.
Yeah. I don't know. If I'm in Cannizzaro's position, I'm going to try to hold out to 40. Then I'm going to do like a 35. That way I could finish my last 25 as he did the first 25 to 28 laps, where he could just send it.
Damn. Jeremy Canute here heading down pit road. Here's Adam Stewart currently running in the 6th position as Cannizzaro falls back. Out of 4, though, he gets a huge run. He's side by side with Philip Scott. Some great side by side racing between the 77 and the 99. Whoa, a little bit of contact there as the 99 gets squirrely. Junior heads up high. Philip Scott goes up to block the run. Here comes Cannizzaro down low, trying to get his nose in. Can't quite do it. Second time, though, he does get his nose. They're side by side into turn 1. Philip Scott lets him go. Scott to the top side. Cannizzaro down low. Great battles here. Cannizzaro running the cushion around the top side here at Texas. Can he get a run to get down underneath the 99? He does here. Side by side out of 2. Philip Scott comes down to pinch. You heard there the 77 had to get out of the gas. Here comes the 87. He is a lap down. He's actually 2 laps down. And on much fresher tires. So we see the 87 here pulling away.
By.
However, the 77 uses that as a pick, and he's going to get down to the inside of Phillip. Can Phillip cover here out of 2? He does for the moment.
Yeah, I don't think Cannizzaro has enough left in his tires.
Yeah, because he can get the run, he just can't get around the 99.
That being said, we are now at lap 41, so I'm really interested to see what the pit strategies are here.
Yeah, we should be seeing these guys heading down pit road soon-ish. At least I would assume so.
Yeah.
Canizaro gets a little bit squirrely there that time. Now Philip Scott's opened up about a second gap over the 99. So Canizaro, this is something we're kind of used to seeing with Canizaro. Gets out to a huge lead, kind of starts to fall back, cooks the tires a little bit. But I'm interested to see, because he is a smart racer, what's going to happen if we get a late race caution. He's able to charge ahead he gets into the wall.
Yeah.
Hard contact there too.
Yeah, that didn't look great.
Yeah, car looks to be okay, but man, that was a wallop to the right side.
I'm surprised he's not pitted yet.
Yeah, I wonder.
That was
he's 8 seconds behind now and counting.
And here it comes down pit road. Oh, a little bit of a lockup there too. But let's real quick take a look at what happened to that 77 when he creamed the wall. Might have missed it there the first time I went through.
Happens to the best of us.
Yeah, so let's take a look here. So here's Canizaro through 3 and 4. Runs the high line, totally fine, no problem there. And then right there, just nails the wall.
Thankfully, that was a flatter part of the wall.
Yeah, it's not like it jutted out or anything like that. Like it could have been a little bit further down the track. It's Tim Branson's on pit road.
There's a couple spots on that wall where it comes out of the curve to a deceptively hard edge.
Yeah, and that was kind of the issue with these tracks of this era, is they started mandating the safer barriers on the corners, but didn't really start forcing tracks to have the safer barriers on the straightaways. As the 47 now makes his way down pit road, but nowadays the safer barriers are all over the racetrack, and they've actually gotten a lot safer since. But at this time, it was really only the corners, and because of that, the walls kind of jutted out more and kind of made a little tricky for some drivers to, change their lineup. Anthony DeBarra out on a Sunday drive, 5.6 seconds behind the 99 of Philip Scott.
Yeah, the last thing you want for DeBarra is for him to get his line, because whatever it is, it's just like the magic line.
Yeah, the magic line, the country mile lead.
It's Texas-sized, thank you very much.
We'll be here all week. Try the veal. Philip Scott trying to fight around the 55 of Canizaro Senior. He's 2 laps down. Top 4 drivers still on the lead lap. Top 4 drivers have yet to pit.
Maths.
That it do as the
Man.
77 gets around the 99. Philip Scott just saying, all right, bud, go for it, as he's going to head down pit road.
Well, that's lap 51. I think he was trying to just do it in one pit.
Yeah, and that's probably what we're going to see now.
The problem is, DeBarro hasn't pit yet either.
No, and that's going to be interesting as to when they do. Shane Ewing makes his way onto pit road. Anthony DeBarro comes now. So that advantage might actually go to Philip Scott, who pitted a lap earlier.
For some reason that I still will one day understand, but not today.
All about timing and where you are on the racetrack. Trust me, I don't understand it either. It just works for me sometimes. Adam Stewart down pit road as well. And Joe, the lead, will now circulate back to this guy. But you see right there, Anthony DeBarro leaving pit road. 8 laps difference between the 77 and the 27.
Which is a lot, considering how fast DeBarro was able to catch him at lap 28.
Yeah.
So he's got 20 laps. He's got 20 good laps to pull as far ahead as he possibly can.
However, those 20 good laps will be at, you know, about an 8-lap tire disadvantage from fresh tires versus 8-lap old tires. And I mean, here at Texas, 8 laps is, you know, is nothing to really sneeze at. And because
he has to pit again.
Yeah, I mean, let's face it, he pitted on lap 43. He can probably still make it the rest of the way on fuel.
Yeah.
But it's certainly going to be interesting. Meanwhile, you know, look at the 11 here, Nick Simpson. This is a pass 4 position for DeBarro. Simpson pitted back at last on lap 23. So Simpson's still going to have to pit one more time. Jamar Dumas closing in on Philip Scott. You can see the 99 there on the bottom of your screen. Some great camera angles here. Cameras tonight brought to you by our friends at Track Cams for Gourmets. You can check them out online, trackcams22.com. They just came out with a new track package for the ovals with the updated 2025 versions of racetracks.
We love to see it.
So make sure you grab your cameras and experience the iRacing action like you do right here on the Tabletop Trio Podcast Network.
Very smooth.
Philip Scott in the Ninja Phil design number 99 machine, putting in some works, currently running P4, about a second behind the 11 and Nick Simpson. Out front, that lead from Cannizzaro over DeBarro has grown to 6.6 seconds.
I do wonder which direction it's going.
Yeah, I'm certainly intrigued to see how this is going to play out. couple of channel notes coming up in a few weeks. You'll see some coverage from PAX Unplugged here on the Tabletop Trio podcast. Very excited for that. We'll have a bunch of interviews and videos and just some fun stuff going on here on the channel in the next coming few weeks. PAX the weekend of November 21st through 23rd. Just in time before the holidays.
Indeed, there shall be shenanigans.
Out here on the racetrack, Philip Scott has gotten around Nick Simpson. Jason Schue working on him now, though Schue is a lap down in 11th. Here comes Jamar Dumas making his way down pit road. So Dumas now able to make it the rest of the way. He'll go a lap down here. Let's take a look at those lap times now between Cannizzaro and DeBarro, and this will kind of show if he's driving away or if DeBarro's driving up. Last couple of laps, DeBarro has been faster. This time, Cannizzaro puts up a lap time of 31.4. When DeBarro crosses the line, we'll see where that one is. And yeah, just about equal. No big changes that time through. Great lap there for DeBarro, or for Cannizzaro, 31.2. He did get a little bit of drafting help there from his father, but he does pick up 0.2 of a second as Cannizzaro Sr. is going to be heading down pit road. So let's go through the field. John Cannizzaro Jr., your leader, his best lap was a 30.208. Second place is this guy, the 27 of Anthony DeBarro, at 29.9 is his best lap. Philip Scott here in third. Started second, currently running P3. And here's a driver, made his way up through the field, plus 6 spots on the day. Started back in 10th, currently running P4. It's Nick Simpson. Just behind him, Shane Ewing in 5th. Started 4th, currently running in 5th. Ace House getting passed by Jamar Dumas. Dumas lap down. Currently running in the 6th position. Adam Stewart in 7th, quickly trying to pick up some time there on the 6. Here's Tim Branson just behind him as well, currently in 8th. 9th place is the 87 of Jeremy Canute. Started 9th, running 9th. That great Bully Hill Vineyards machine. I believe that's an old either Robbie Gordon or Ron Fellows throwback. On board here with Jason Schue, currently running in P10. Jamar Dumas here in 11th. He is 1 lap down. Canute, Schue, and Dumas, all drivers 1 lap down. And John Cannizzaro Sr. here rounding out our 12-car field. Weather right now, Joe, 84 degrees. Only a, well, I was going to say only a little bit of wind. Now no wind, 0 mile an hour wind. Cloudy skies, so it's going to keep the temperatures down, keep that grip up on the track.
They do love to see that.
We've had 3 lead changes here on lap 69. Coming to 30 to go.
Nice.
Cannizzaro leading the race.
However, that ticker is starting to tick in the wrong direction.
Yeah, that time through Cannizzaro did a 31.3. Let's see where Debarro is, because they've stayed relatively equal. Debarro that time about 1/10 of a second slower than Cannizzaro. But again, Joe, we had mentioned this earlier, is that Cannizzaro, like you said, has that 20 lap pace, and then he starts to fall off. And right now, as we cross the line on the lap 70 with 30 laps to go, that's the 20 lap threshold that Debarro has been out there versus Cannizzaro. And look at that, as we say that, he picked up a little over 1/10.
Yeah, that's the thing about we noticed the first set of tires is around that 25 laps, his car fell off hard. Debarro started catching up half seconds at a time.
And I don't even know if Debarro, if it makes any sense now for Cannizzaro rather to pit here, because you're gonna have to make up a lap just to pass the 27, and then drive a whole lap around again to get around him for the lead again. So unless there's a caution that comes out, I think Cannizzaro is just gonna have to play and maintain.
Yeah, which I think Debarro kind of knows and is probably not applying as much pressure as he could, because he's like, I still got 28. I don't want to, ruin my tires and give somebody else a shot. So I'm going to just set my pace. No one's in front of me that I have to worry about getting in my way. Let's just set my laps, get my lines as he does.
Yeah, so the last 3 laps, Debarro has picked up 1/10. Now this time he upped it to 3/10. So 6/10 of a second within the last 4 laps. So let's say we average that out to about 2/10 of a second. 5 laps, he picks up 1 second. 10 laps is 2 seconds. 20 laps is 4 seconds. 4.5 seconds is 30 laps, is about 25 laps. So, I mean, Debarro has a shot. It's going to be tight if he keeps up this pace. And look at that, picked up another 3/10 that time through.
This is about the laps that we saw on that first stint from Cannizzaro.
Yeah, Debarro much faster. Again, another 2/10 of a second faster than Cannizzaro. And look at that, Philip Scott right on his tail.
Yeah, if Cannizzaro could hold that 2/10 line, it's going to be tight, but he might be okay. If he starts giving up half a second like he did on his first set, it's not going to be good for him.
And I think right now Cannizzaro is Philip Scott's biggest fan by saying, hey, Philip, go in and fight with that 27, slow him down, and let me ride off into this Texas sunset.
Yeah. Come on, do a thing. Go ahead.
Please, I'm begging you, do it. That's exactly what he's sitting there saying. Like, hey, bother him. Let me drive away, annoy him, slow him down, and, maybe I'll thank you in the Victory Lane interview.
They are going to have a little bit of lap traffic with Branson coming up. We'll see if Scott tries to capitalize on that. Dwarf Branson plays nice.
Yeah, we'll have to see if Philip can get close enough to capitalize. But also, if you look at that track map, the 77 doesn't exactly have clean track ahead of him either. He's got both Ace House and Adam Stewart, who, by the way, are fighting for position. So he's going to have to drive through the two of those drivers as well. But right now, Navarro and Scott are catching up on the 92 of Branson. And Branson's definitely one of those drivers who'll see it and just say, all right, boys, go for it. He knows right now he is the first car one lap down. So if a yellow were to come out, Branson is the free pass recipient. And yeah, he just lets the 27 go down low. Philip Scott also gets around him.
Would have been funny if he cut back down. It's like, no, Scott, you're not allowed to pass. It's just a bar.
Yeah, just a bar. Go right ahead, sir. Please, I insist. And Joe, even with that, the gap between Canizaro and DeBarro now shrunk to 2.6 seconds.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is a now worrying amount of gap for Canizaro.
And there's still 20 laps to go.
Yeah, that would be the worrying part.
Yeah. Major. Don't forget, if you like what you're seeing here tonight, make sure you like the video, subscribe to our channel, would be excellent. Support Total Nonstop Racing League.
Press that little thumbs up button.
Do all the YouTube streamer things. Gap is shrinking. It's now down to 1.2 seconds. With now just 18 laps remaining. That time through, look at those chunks that are being taken out by DeBarro. 4
Yep,
tenths,
there's that
6
fall off.
tenths, 7 tenths, 6 tenths, 7 tenths. Remember how we said, oh, he may barely get there.
I did say his tires fall off a cliff.
And also, just Philip Scott was right on the back bumper of DeBarro. Now he's about 2.7 seconds back.
Yeah.
DeBarro has found an extra gear. Look at that speed.
Because Canizaro has to start playing defense with a bullet.
Yeah, Canizaro just says, all right, if you want to take this, you're going to have to pass the long way around. And DeBarro just says, okay, thanks. New leader, Anthony DeBarro. But will Canizaro have anything to say about it? Probably not.
Yeah, I mean, what can you do?
Yeah, DeBarro just looks like he was shot out of a cannon. He may have been just kind of sitting there saving tires.
I think at this point, Canizaro is just hoping maybe there's a caution. Everyone's going to go get tires.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. And if I am, if I'm those drivers, that's exactly what I'm thinking. Like, man, give me that yellow. Let me get some fresh tires. Because I'm sure at this point in the run, everyone's sitting there screaming. But now, how does the 27 deal with lap traffic? He's going to go to the top side. Cuts back down low to try to get a good drive off the corner. Adam Stewart moves down to the inside to let the 27 go. Oh, a little bit of wall contact from DeBarro. DeBarro out there looking like he's driving on easy mode.
Mm-hmm. Like me and Forza when I put 300 horsepower extra in my my car.
They really have to do an engine teardown on this 27.
I would like to flag the car for steroids.
Meanwhile, we got a battle for second. Philip Scott, Canizaro Jr. Scott to the high side. He's going to get around him for the second. So now we're going to have a drag race down the back straight away. This is exactly what DeBarro wants. Just saying, all right, boys, race side by side. Slow yourselves down. See if I care. As we go down now, the 10 laps remaining here at Texas. Anthony DeBarro, 3.2 second lead over Philip Scott. Canizaro trying to cool his tires down for one last push. Don't forget Canizaro last pit on lap 43. Philip Scott on lap 50. DeBarro 51.
I really think Canizaro's plan was to break it into 3 stints, and Scott and DeBarro did it in 2. So now he's like, nah, crap. 2 it is.
Four seconds over Philip Scott is DeBarro's lead. Couple of battles that are just about a second off. Adam Stewart behind Ace House that you see there on the bottom of your screen. Scott trying to get around the 4. The number 4 Dodge Ford. Love that green scheme.
Every time you say it, my brain gets confused. What you just say?
You see there the Dodge on the side. Beautiful looking race car there.
I'll still never say no to a Mountain Dew.
No. No matter what. Looks like there's a meatball flag being shown to the 3 of Jason Schue. He's off the pace. He's got essentially a 0% tire. iRacing doesn't necessarily simulate blown tires, but they simulate tires with 0% grip, and once you're given that, you're told to pit and change your tires, and that's what the 3 is going to do.
I'm sorry, you said meatball flag?
Yeah, it's the black flag with an orange circle on it that people lovingly call the meatball flag. Or getting meatballed. And oh, another meatball, this time for the 28 of Jamar Dumas.
You did say that people were going to be getting their tires eaten.
Yeah, serving up meatballs like it's Olive Garden here at Texas. It's the closest they'll come to Italian food, that's for sure.
It's true. The closest stretch of a word.
Drivers have about 3 laps to serve their flag before they get DQ'd. So Jamar Dumas is honestly in line. He may not even need to pit. As DeBarro comes across, 2 laps remaining, here comes Dumas onto pit road. Oh, he missed pit road entrance.
Uh-oh.
And now, oh! That could have been disaster.
Yeah.
Shades of yesterday's NASCAR Cup race where the leader, Denny Hamlin, drove out to a massive lead on track to win the championship. Caution comes out. White flag here, though, for DeBarro. We're not going to see it. Hamlin had a large lead. White flag comes, or caution flag comes out. Everyone comes down to pit. Hamlin takes 4. Everyone else takes 2. And that gave the championship to Kyle Larson. But here's this one, the championship. Technically, though not settled. Another step closer. Anthony DeBarro out of turn 4. Checkered flag in the air. Anthony DeBarro is going to win at Texas. Philip Scott in second. Canizaro Jr. comes home third. Shane Ewing comes home fourth, with Ace House wrapping up our top 5.
What a race.
Another dominating win here for the 27 of Anthony DeBarro. He led 43 out of 100 laps. Canizaro led the other 57.
I am sure that is not what Canizaro was hoping for pit-wise.
Certainly not. As Anthony DeBarro burns it down on the front stretch. Somehow he has enough tire to do this.
Sending it.
Absolutely. So DeBarro celebrates. We'll get ourselves lined up for our post-race interviews. And Joe, I believe you've caught up with our third place finisher, John Canizaro Jr.
Hey, John, congratulations on the podium finish. You got out to a great start. You fell behind. You got out to another great start. You fell behind. What was your game plan?
Story of my iRacing career, I guess. You know, drive out front, right front comes off the track, and you start crying. So, these races all start playing out the same at some point. DeBarro, with whatever he's managed to find, do with his car that nobody else can do or find or get, just drives away from everybody, and it's lullaby. It's like clockwork, Me and Phil have a little bit of a battle, and then one of us gets second or third, and he just drives away like he's in La La Land. So, figured, well, what the hell? We'll full balls it to the wall, and maybe he won't be able to catch me. And that was the stupidest thing I could have ever done. I wanted to aim for lap 50 and cut the race in half. That didn't happen. My tire was 5 on the inside, 7% in the middle, and 66 on the outside. I don't think I would have made another lap. And I had to spend that whole last run saving gas. I was like 9, 10 laps short, just coasting like Kevin Harvick at Atlanta that entire run, just trying to get it to the end. And I thought maybe there was a chance I'd be able to run a decent enough lap time that while he was trying to save, I'd be able to keep a big enough gap to him, and that obviously didn't happen. So here we are again as the first interview, setting the stage for everybody else.
So we were talking up in the booth. We didn't know if you were going to try to break the race up into 3, and then you kind of got caught with DeBarro and Scott only doing it in 2. So your plan was 2, but you just cooked it.
Yeah, the plan was to, and I still kind of kept to it. It's just a shame that I had to kind of revert back to how I used to drive and kind of throw that away. But I don't really think it would have mattered. Again, it's clockwork, like a weekly basis, where DeBarro just I don't know whether his car's different, whether he's just a mastermind, whether I just suck. I'll leave that up to the general population. It's just gotta do something. You gotta try at least something different than everybody else was trying.
Yeah, I mean, we for a second we were like, "Oh, he's way out there. I don't think he's going to be able to catch him." And then I guess that's when your tire decided it had enough. And we were like, "Oh no, he can catch him." But
Yeah, them damn tires. I'm telling you, man. I was not made to be an asphalt guy. That just definitely shows. I was not made for this.
absolutely. Well, I'm sure you got some shout outs for us.
Yeah, I gotta thank Garrett, Mike, Jamar, everybody in the field in TNR, everybody in the upper class of TNR that helps get this series running. You guys put on the broadcast every week. I'm sure you guys get a little bit bored of the same couple guys being up here, but I try to make it lighthearted. It's how I am. It's how I always will be. I did not have a good day today. Let make that be known. I got home at 7:30. I got stuck on the side of the road with a flat tire, and nothing in my car to actually change that flat tire. So I was a little bit upset when I got home today. So at least a decent finish can fix that. And obviously, my father, Tyler, guy who paints my cars and everything like that. And a little self promotion. The All American 400 is coming up for iRacing. So if you want to watch me go run that, super late miles at Nashville, 400 laps, you can come to my Instagram and I might put a live stream on for the street stock portion of that for me racing, and then you can go watch the other broadcast. Watch me maybe get a big crown jewel event in iRacing. That'd be pretty cool.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations again, and hopefully we'll be chatting with you next week.
Thank you.
All right, that's John Cannizzaro Jr., our third place finisher here at Texas. I'm now joined by our second place finisher, driver of the number 99 machine, Philip Scott. And well, Philip, congrats there on the P2 finish. Looked like for a little bit there, as DeBarro was catching Cannizzaro, you were also catching DeBarro, and then it looked like DeBarro just kind of caught a fifth gear somehow and drove away.
Yeah, he was saving extra. He was saving his stuff. We both didn't think that John could make it on fuel because he pit quite a bit early. But he did, and so we were both saving. I was saving my stuff, but I was like, why am I catching up to DeBarro? He must be super saving. And so I didn't want to question it, and I'm just like, if I have an opportunity to get up to his bumper, then I will. But I don't want to force the issue too much. And so that's pretty much what I did. I just kind of ran my pace, and then I knew that it might be a possibility that he would turn on the jets, and then there was one quarter where I was just running my own pace, and then he went from 0.5 ahead of me to 0.8, and I'm like, yeah, okay, yeah, he's taken off now. So but honestly, I pretty much matched him that run, because I went into the pits 5 seconds out behind him and then finished. He backed down on the last lap because he told me he got caught up a big thing in big dirty air and turn 2 or something, so he backed it down, but I would have finished 5 seconds. So I'll take it. Getting closer to him most races, so there's that.
Yeah, and then there's still plenty of racing to go. Doubleheader, I believe, next week with IRP in Indianapolis. What are your thoughts for those two? Very different style of doubleheader at TNR.
Yeah, yeah, that's gonna be fun. I'll take that double header over the super speedways. Although I did have an okay, I got like a fifth and a fourth at the last one, which is very unlike me. Um, but but um, but yeah, this one's gonna be fun. We haven't done IRP in a little bit, and that one's always good. That's multi-groove, and then Indy will be very interesting in these cars. I think it'll be a bit tricky to manage the corners. I might have to study up on some watch like the '03 Brickyard or something for some study material.
Definitely going to be an interesting one. And Philip, before we let you go, I'm sure you have some shout outs, so let's hear them.
Yeah, shout out. Of course, Team Ninja Association is coming back soon-ish, so stay tuned on socials for that. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Awesome. Well, Philip, congrats again on the second place finish, and hopefully we'll be able to chat with you next week.
Yep, thanks, man.
All right, that's Philip Scott, our second place finisher. And now Joe has made his way down to victory lane to chat with our winner yet again this season, Anthony DeBarro.
Hey, Anthony, congratulations. The streak continues. At this point, is it starting to stress you out that to keep the streak going?
No, I'm just, like I stated last week, it's just being, we're not knowing when you never know when your last one is going to come, or you're going to get beat, or, I could easily, lose the edge I have. And I'm just really enjoying the moment and just being really appreciative that, you know, that it comes, I wouldn't say like easy, because I'm definitely full of sweat right now, but everything's just clicking. Like, this car just really suits my driving style. Like, this car, tracks, everything. What iRacing is, the product they're putting out is just really, suits me well.
Absolutely. You say you're full of sweat. Does that worry you for the doubleheader next week?
No, well, because I mean, I don't know how much you guys are aware of it, but I was doing a little math before the race, and I needed to finish seventh or better in that race to lock it up. So I essentially locked the points thing up. So I'm kind of like, that's a relief, and I can kind of, even have more fun than the next four races.
Absolutely. Now, going into this race, Canizaro started off really strong. We were figuring you were saving your tires. That's kind of been your shtick this season. How are you able, when everybody else's tires looks like they're giving out on this track that looks like it eats tires, for you to just have like another like magic 10, 20 laps in you?
I don't know. I kind of learned, like, when you're trying to save, especially this car, seems like it's more the front tires that'll slow you down. I have like a set position on my steering wheel. Like, I know how far I want to turn the wheel, and that's how far I'm turning it. I won't turn it anymore. And if I need to make it adjustments to where the car is, I'll use like more brake, or lift out of the throttle more, rather than keep cranking the wheel into it. And I think it really pays off. And the first run, I was kind of irritated with myself because I came into the pits, and I had the right front was down to like 10%, and I was just like, that's not like me. I usually don't even get them below 50, and I was like, I burned it up. I mean, yeah, I had a decent lead, but that thing was not. I thought I was going to hit the wall towards the end of that run. So I think I was a little too conservative on that last run. The Philip got to me, and then I thought John couldn't make it, and he did a really good job. Congrats to him, like, making that fuel deal work. Like, I that's why I wasn't even pressing, because I'm like, there's no way John can make it. And luckily I got to him. His tires would like tend to go in a run, like on a 50-55 lap run. Like, it was a light switch. Even if you saved them, like, they just fell off a cliff. Like, I almost wonder if a two stopper might have been, for the guys up front, might have been a little quicker overall. I don't know. I was like, something I was just going through my head.
Yeah, absolutely. We were watching that in the booth when Canzaro's tires burned up. You went from gaining about a tenth of a second to like half a second per lap, and we're like, oh, that's it. His tires are done. With that, you're pretty much locked in for the season. So I'm sure you got some shout outs for us.
Yeah, I mean, Garrett and all the admins, for continue to do this deal, even though I keep stinking the show up every week. I'm sure it's getting old. And I mean, I'm sure everyone's getting tired of me winning, but I'm appreciative of my league mates. Everyone's really races clean out there hard. We all, get along this year very well, and like I said, we could work to extend the car counts. I don't know exactly what we're doing for the car next season, but it's in discussion. Very looking forward to it. Continuous, like literally one of my favorite nights. I usually do 2 nights on the service a week, so not to like burn myself out, because I remember back in the day I would do like 3, 4, 5 nights a week, and especially during COVID times, I was like, oh, all everyone did, and it's easy to get burned out from over racing. And
Yeah.
thank you to you guys, for doing this deal. I'm sure as well you're getting sick of talking to me each week.
Never.
Well,
But-
maybe I won't talk to you next week. How about that?
Well, we'll see. But congratulations again. And maybe we'll be chatting with you next week. Maybe twice. Who knows?
I'll talk to you guys soon.
That's Anthony Tabarro, our winner here tonight at Texas. And Joe, let's take a look here at the final results for tonight's race. It was a fun race. But we'll take a look here. The winner is Anthony Tabarro. Second place goes to Philip Scott. John Canizaro Jr. in third. Shane Ewing comes home in fourth, and the final car on the lead lap. Ace House comes home fifth in 1 lap down. Adam Stewart comes home sixth, and he was saying, hey, I had a 6th place finish without any wrecks, so good run there to Adam. Nick Simpson comes home 7th. Tim Branson in 8th. Jeremy Canute comes home 9th, 2 laps down. Jamar Dumas in 10th, 3 down. Jason Schue also 3 down in 11th. And John Canizaro Sr. rounds out our 12-car field for tonight. You heard it just a little bit ago. A doubleheader next week at Indianapolis Raceway Park, Lucas Oil Raceway, and Indianapolis Motor Speedway. So the big and little 500 ish here at TNR. So for one final time, I'm Bob.
I'm Joe.
And this has been the Lone Star 150 presented by Jake Bustos for the Total Nonstop Racing League, live right here on the Tabletop Trio Podcast Network. Have a great night.